The Singapore Grand Prix is today's episode in F1 My Team, and things didn't get off to the best start as we stacked it straight away heading into practice in FP2. As you can see,
are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
Now with that aside, we still pushed on with practice and saw through the run program and got things done. So with that out of the way, as we head into the weekend, you can see in the weather forecast, we have rain forecast for the race, and it's in a very unique scenario midway through the race, dry at both ends. As we jump into the upgrades, you can see this weekend, we have two major upgrades on our car, but seemingly so does everybody else. So no progress made in terms of the R&D chart somehow, and we're still at the bottom, which is really frustrating. I was really hoping this double upgrade, which would really help us out, has actually been completely nullified by everybody else bringing upgrades as well. You can see we had a failed brake upgrade as well, which didn't arrive, otherwise it would have been 3, and we do have another one on the Halo, I believe, on the way for the Aero. Now this weekend we're running 108 AI for this one. We're going to see how that goes. Now before we jump into qualifying and the race into the main events, if you haven't seen the previous episode, go check it out guys, link in the top right. Go check it out, the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, and see what happened there before we get into qualifying. Now after practice you can see we've got a bunch of discounts which we're going to happily take for our future upgrades, and also for this race I decided to take an engine penalty. Now it makes no sense normally because it's a street circuit, but because of the rain I feel like it could provide a strategic opportunity to try and fight back in the race without having to really do overtakes. And in hindsight I wish I'd taken this penalty in the last race, so I want to just get it out of the way and serve it now, and then we should be good to go for the rest of the season on our components. So we're going to start this race weekend from the back. Now I'm going to jump into qualifying, and the reason for that is because I still want to set a lap and see what the pace is and just kind of get an idea, you know, whether we're actually in the conversation for a competitive weekend or not, because I want to know if we're anywhere in the right ballpark in terms of performance. So you join me at the end of my one and only push lap in Q1 just to see what the pace really is, and making our way through the final corner we're going to set a 1:36.5, which gives us P4 at the time. Now I did go return to garage, I simulated the rest of the session, so the lap times were sped up a little bit faster than what they would be, but we finished in P22 with a 60 place grid penalty and half a second off our teammate. So we're going to stick with 108 for the race. That should be about right, I think. So let's get into it and let's turn it around with the weather forecast of course being rain, and it should be a chaotic race.
Here we go then, it's Formula One in Marina Bay once again, and welcome to you all at home who join us today for this fascinating race around the baking hot but beautiful streets of Singapore. It's a 3.1 mile lap here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit with 47% taken at full throttle. It's hot, humid and bumpy around the 13 lefts and 10 rights of mostly slow corners. But we should see speeds of up to 200 miles per hour along the Raffles Boulevard. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris and Ocon, Joe, Perez, Ricciardo and George Russell, Albon, Gasly, Kevin Magnussen and Tsunoda, Stroll, Théo Pourchaire, Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel, Aitken, Mick Schumacher, Latifi and Martinez. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
Singapore, the longest race of the calendar, 22 cars on this grid, and we're starting at the very back of course with that grid penalty. And I've chosen this race because the rain is going to be an opportunity to fight back through the field, and I think that could work in our favour. Strategy for this race, we're going to start on the medium. The rain of course is arriving in theory halfway through the race. The soft won't last very long, so we'll go for the medium and then hopefully straight into the intermediate and then hopefully back onto a medium or possibly a soft at the end. That's the plan if the forecast is accurate, which you never know. Sometimes it can be, sometimes it isn't. Fuel-wise, I'm going to go for half a lap less. I'm a little bit under on the fuel because we should save fuel in the rain anyway, and also in traffic. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy racing. We've got to fight back. We've got nothing to lose starting from last place. So let's get into it, and let's get into 31 laps of Singapore in what is going to be the longest race of this season. Okay, so the leaders are lining up on the grid as we're the last car falls to take our grid slot. Trying to get our last bit of tyre warm up through this final part of the lap. Trying to push the tyres to 85 degrees Celsius plus. Hopefully though, we get a decent start. That's the plan. Get a decent getaway, and we'll see how it goes. Let's line her up aggressively a little bit here. We want to try and get a decent start. There we go. That's a lovely line up on the grid. Let's get into it. Let's do it. On the way. Not a terrible start. AI do get off pretty well. Into turn 1 we go. 3 wide action, which is going to basically create a massive roadblock. I'm going to experiment here my racing lines and see if I can find something. Verstappen down the order, by the way, down in P18, so grid penalties taking effect there. Didn't really fancy that move up the inside of Schumacher. I was scared he might have turned in on me, and we've had damage for the last 2 races, so I really don't want to get damage in this race for the 3rd race in a row. Now that we might be able to make some moves here as we head into the 2nd sector. Up the inside. One by one, we're going to try and pick these off. So Schumacher first. We'll just run him onto the less grippy tarmac and make a move. Up next, Nicholas Latifi. Let's see if I can get him into the hairpin. That's going to be the overtake we look for on this opening lap. As he gets a bit loose. Going to go around the outside as there's more space and more possibilities. And there we go, P20. Aikent next. Let's try and get him on this lap as well if we can. I want to ask for weather update in a moment as we get a warning for track limits, which seems a bit harsh. I was out of bounds, but I was going pretty damn slow.
Dry's definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Oh wow. Does that mean rain's imminent? If that's the case, the weather forecast is not accurate, and we're going to have rain straight away here, so that could be very spicy. Well, in that case, let's push on here and try and use up our battery and get past as many cars as possible. We need to try and get ahead of our teammate ideally, because we want to have first choice into the pits. So that's kind of what we've got aimed for now, objective wise. That was nicely done through there. No DRS just yet, but we do have decent enough straight line speed this weekend to compete. Got to correct my steering there as Aiken scrubs wide. But we do get the job done, and we move up into P19. Paul Chair and Verstappen going side by side here through the first few corners. That's going to bring Vettel and also bring me into play. Let's see what happens here as we go towards the end of Sector 1 into the start of Sector 2. DRS enabled as well. It's going to make things quite spicy. Here we go, getting the run. Paul Chair, no DRS, and we have to be careful here as we slice and dice. This is going to get ugly. Oh my god.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Somehow no wing damage, and somehow we've got past and we're still alive. My god, I held my breath there for a second. That was not fun. Oh, anyway, Paul Chair's next. Vettel fighting back, and he goes into the side of us. We're not going to let him go side by side with us here. Check for damage.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good. We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Okay, that's a proper update. That's legit. When you ask for the update, it's not always accurate, but when you get one without asking, that's usually the one you want to trust. So, still got a while left on these tyres, so we've got time to crack on here and get after Paul Chair. So let's get back to work. Seb got damage and all that, and he's now had to pit, as expected.
Got that confirmed.
Inters at the end of the next lap, without me even doing anything. That might be a sign that rain's inbound. And there we go, literally, the rain is falling. Droplets are coming down. Right, let's see how this rain progresses. This could be a quick change of weather forecast. DRS disabled already. Oh my god. You know what?
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
I can see why the team called us in next lap. I don't want to stack behind Paul Chair, so we're going to have to fight the conditions here on the dries for a lap and see if we can make it work. But this rain is coming down super quick. Oh my god. Look at the track already. Oh my god, the track is completely gone. Within moments. We should have stacked. Would have been much less of a time loss. All of us that have stayed out are in big trouble. Oh no. It's literally just completely turned in half a lap. Don't really have a choice here. How much want to go by easily?
Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Alright, easy does it. Almost locked up there and hit the wall in pit entry. Right, intermediate's going on. Too bad I didn't get a full weather update, but we could go to full wets here maybe. There was a heavy rain icon, although I think it might just stay on the inters. Please, a nice quick stop. Damn it, got held there, lost a bit of time. Anyway, back underway, and last place, ahead of Sebastian Vettel.
Alright, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy.
So we've got to do all over again, all the progress we made. Bit of a shame, and we've dropped even further back than where we started, so not ideal. Hopefully we'll get a chance later on this race with strategy to try and fight back. On this outlap alone, I've lost nearly 2 seconds to Sonoda. The AI are ridiculous out of the pits. Let's see if I can fight back, but I've already lost 2 seconds of time to Sonoda, which is so annoying. Okay, now we are officially stuck behind these three, trying to think of a way through. I think this is going to be the most likely opportunity. Maybe having a look around the outside, but I don't feel like I've got the front downforce to really make the moves work. And I have zero traction compared to the AI. They can just floor it in overtake mode on corner exits, and I've got nothing to answer for. So we're not going to get them on a traction battle, that's for sure. Oh, that was close. Cars in the pits. That's very early. Could be for full wets to be fair. The grip is pretty shitty right now, I'm not going to lie. I might explain it. We haven't been offered a strategy change though. Either way, this is my way back into the race, so I'm not going to pee. I'm going to just try and firm it with these tyres. Yeah, full wets of Verstappen. So we're going for a bit of a rough patch at the moment. The weather forecast makes no sense.
Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
They said the rain was only going to get lighter over the next 15 minutes, so we're just going to have to put up with this for a little while. More cars in the pits. They're all boxing for full wets. We're going to stay out. It's going to be painful and suffering, but track position could be key.
Coming in for his stop now.
And no DRS, of course, so we've got a chance of maybe defending our position in these conditions. So we're going to stay out. Besides, if it goes back to inters, they're going to have to stop again, and that's going to bring us really into the race. So we're going to gamble. It's absolutely just chucking it down now. Monsoon rain almost. But we're going to risk it all here for a chance at glory in this race. There goes Max. He's got the traction down. I'm so poor in that traction zone. The AI are so strong. Going to keep my nose in though. Max locks up, so we go back through. But this is going to be a tricky one to hold on to for the rest of the stint. We need the rain to back off now. Oh god. Max up the inside. Bit of a dry patch there, so we're going to use it to try and fight back. This is going to be just a constant scrap, but we're holding on for now. Bit of a dry patch there as well, as Verstappen and Gasly go side by side. This is all going to help us out. Pierre goes through. I just don't have an answer on traction at the moment. So that's Gasly passed. I'll try.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
Okay. Leave me alone. They're asking me literally twice a lap now to come in, but I'm not coming in. Holding up this train of cars. That's wide through there. Skating through almost. Max up the inside again through there, but we'll just about hang on. What is this forecast, man?
The rain's getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out. Inters and wets will probably have very similar pace at the moment.
Is that even true? I don't even know what to believe anymore. Well, there goes Max anyway. We're going to start getting picked off now one by one in these current conditions. We need things to drastically improve. Oh, chair pits.
Okay, Teo's in the pits. Teo in the pits.
Oh my god, why did the AI not know how to make an overtake? They go in so early, then they wash out wide and just push you off the track. Yeah, we're just getting done now, one by one. I've got no tyre temps at all in these tyres. Why is the weather forecast so wrong? And why is my engineer not telling me what's happening? How is this rain improving? Wow, that was close. Uh-oh.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Classic AI driving into a gap that doesn't exist. Floor damage. Pierre Gasly's out though. Safety car? That is our only hope now at this point. A safety car would get me out of trouble. Don't think we're getting one though. Here comes Schumacher and Sonoda. I think the floor damage is okay, I'm not too worried about that. Just the wing damage. Although we don't have wing damage to be fair. We might be able to hold on here. Although is it really worth it at this point?
There's damage to the underbody. Expect to feel significant effects in terms of performance. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Great.
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now.
I think I can tell what's better, mate. Starting to recover some tyre temp. My tyres were stone cold. Tyre wear is only about 20%, so that's not going to be an issue. I'm trying to scrub my fronts a little bit to get some front end. But we're going back to inters now, so important phase of the race, we've got to try and push on here with the damage and try to get back on the pace. Okay, the AR is starting to pit again for their intermediates. Still struggling to get my tyre temps back, but it is time for the inters. So let's see if we recover anything back from staying out. Has it been worth it? I think we've lost too much time, but anyway, we'll see.
Teo's coming in for his stop now.
Right ahead of Ocon and Aitken, that's okay. It gives us some sort of track position. Front tyre temps are now finally coming above 65 and back to where the working range is. Ocon again, coming through, but we're going to close the door on him. Verstappen on pit exit, Latifi in the pits. Going to need a safety car to get back into this race, and even then with floor damage I don't think we're going to have to pace. Still more cars who haven't got off the full wet yet. Sonoda's still out there on a set of full wets and hasn't stopped. Magnussen is now in the pit lane. As we close the door on Ocon again, I'm starting to find a bit more pace. Yellow flag. I think Aitken's just broken down. Our safety car would be fabulous. Magnussen out ahead of us, which isn't ideal. Come on, give us a safety car, please. And then I'll probably go for the dry tyre and just gamble and hope that it works out. Aitken out. Nope, looks like we're not getting it. Oh, damn it. Just a bit of luck, please. I like how Sonoda's still out there on the full wet. The AI are just able to make the tyres work however they want. I remember in the sprint race in Austria this season, we pit for dries and it was a completely bone dry circuit, and the AI managed to make the inters work and run at the exact same pace as dry tyres. It was absolutely insane. Anyway, we're out ahead of Stroll. Sonoda, Ocon looking for the move here as I overcommit into turn 1, leave too much space. Let's try and stay in front here for P13 if we can, although I don't think we've got the traction for it. Short shifting does basically nothing, but shifting normally also doesn't really help. Out of battery as well now. Oh, give me something, game, please.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
This could be dries. The track is really improving. I'll check it on the back straight. So we'll just try and tackle this part of the lap. And we're going to get first choice as Paul Chair is now behind us, which is exactly what I hoped for.
Confirmed.
Now then, DRS hasn't even been enabled yet. This feels too early. This feels like the game's tricking me. I'll believe it when other AI cars pit, but I'm not going to take that gamble. And I'll say that. There's a McLaren in the pit lane right now. Just the one. If I see soft tyres on that car, I will pit. Although to be fair, if I think about Austria, it worked in that race on the inters for those guys, so let's just stick out on these for a little while. Until my temps push 80, we're going to be okay on these. Let's try and go for an overcut. Let's try something different for a change, not go for the traditional strategy. It's been a bad race anyway, so we may as well try and make it a little bit worse. That's a PB though, 49.0. That's 3 seconds faster than anything I've done in the intermediates. So let's see if there's any pace in these yet. Ricardo's going to be a good reference. Well, we can't do what the AI do. Again, no surprises, but we're going to box. Actually feels fine, to be fair. Really enjoyable to drive. But we're going to get the soft tyres on, make our final stop, and finish at the points. We gave it a good shot. Didn't really work out. Fresh set of softs though, which is going to help us out. We're going to rejoin behind Ocon probably, and ahead of Stroll if all goes well, back where we were. Why did they not pull away missed? Well, that's us behind Stroll maybe. It's going to be close. Cold tyres. Let's see where Stroll is. He's making his way down now through here. And just gets ahead. And we're on the cold tyres as well, which isn't going to help. Okay, we'll set a personal best and we're closing back up to Lance. 1.5 seconds is the gap.
Currently the fastest lap is at 1 minute 37.5.
Not that bad to be fair, only 7 tenths away. Not that shabby. Let's try and get P14 if we can. Completely out of battery though, which isn't going to help. Kevin Magnussen in the pit lane and currently also holds the fastest lap surprisingly. So that will move us into P14. I'm trying to recharge my battery a bit behind Stroll here and we'll go for the move. Hopefully on the next lap. Stroll's starting to pull away now. I'm struggling to keep up. Seems like when tyre wear kicks in I don't quite have the pace. So we're going to try and get the move done on this lap, but I really don't think I've got the pace anymore. We'll save our battery for the back straight and try and go for it there and see if we can get the job done. It does seem like the AI does much better at traction, tyre management than we are. We're only good for a couple of laps. But yeah, I've messed it up there with that track and now turn 3. Too far back. And the AI are going to go full power mode now as well, which is the worst thing. They're just going to drive off. Oh well, I tried really hard to get past, but no straight line speed, no downforce, no chassis, nothing. We're bottom in all 3 departments and it shows. I've got no redeeming trait about our car. And the fact I've got P14, considering the mess of this race, and doing it with floor damage, is a small miracle. I don't even know how I've done this, but anyway. 14th for us here in Singapore here today. 2 more major upgrades on the way, hopefully before the next race, and we're going to add some more to that now, which I can't wait for. But next season, man, I can't wait for the reg change. Across the line, and there we go.
race it's been then. Another classic Singapore Grand Prix. And they've held on to take the checkered flag here today. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So there we go, race done in Singapore. I'm not really going to waste too much time with the results. You can see them for yourself on screen. And yeah, we're going to move into upgrades. We finished in 14th though, Magnussen with the fastest lap, and Pourchaire down in P20, doing 6 stops that race. Absolute disaster, but yeah, there's a lot. Standings wise, as you can see, P12 for us, Russell overtakes us now, so we drop a place. Schumacher just 1 point behind, and then we've got a healthy gap to Gasly, to be fair. So I think P13 could be quite realistic for us in terms of where we finish this season. Constructors, still P7. We're going to have to give up on P6 now. Haas are double the points ahead of us, which is not going to be a recoverable gap. So with that in mind, the target now turns to holding 7th and staying ahead of AlphaTauri. So yeah, it is what it is. Either way, guys, we're now going to move into upgrades and see what we can improve moving into the final races. Bombshell news after that race. Sebastian Vettel has announced his retirement from Formula 1. Which is interesting because a lot of you wanted me to get him as my teammate for next season. It was by far the most popular choice. But Seb won't be around anymore. Or will he? I guess we'll find out. Activities though, for now, we're going to go ahead and just pile these on. So we'll go for promotion filming and second driver external training. As you can see, the Halo is going to arrive on the 6th. The question is, has the brakes upgrade? No, that's the failed ones, never mind. So we are going to have an upgrade for the next race. We'll do the brakes as well, and that leaves us with 1700 points to do upgrades. And I really want to do one of these, but we don't have enough. We're just a little bit short, so I'm going to hold back on the points, and we're going to buy one of these in the next episode. It's a shame, again, another issue I've got with this game mode. The My Team discounts in practice, none of them count towards actual important upgrades. It's all for the shit ones, which are no good. So, yeah. That's it for this one, I think. We're going to leave it there. We'll skip ahead. Hopefully the Halo arrives, at least it doesn't fail. When it rains, it pours. And that is the case here again. So we're going to have to repurchase that. We should still be on course to buy the front wing end plates anyway. But can't catch a brake, man. Can't catch a damn brake. No upgrades for the next race. Car's going to be the same. Still bottom. It hurts, man. It pains. But yeah, there we go then. That's it, guys, for Singapore. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I apologise. I am struggling for motivation with this series, but I've got a plan. But we have to get through this season. So, yeah, until then, stick with me, guys. Stick with it. Hopefully, you have the patience and we'll have good things coming out the other end. But yeah, as always, a massive shout out to the members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. And let's goodbye from me.